to see y'all. We're going to play a little talking heads. And I want to see your heads moving. Go.
I'm tense and nervous.
Shoulders, head.
Can't relax. I can't sleep because my bed's
Yeah.
on fire.
Go, Rex. Go, Amy.
I'm a real live wire.
You can sing if you want. Yeah, Lee.
Let's just see.
Let's get some hands in here.
Better run, 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 run.
Yeah.
Away.
Nice. You can sing the chorus. I can't hear you.
Psycho killer. Let's just
sing.
Better run, 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 run away.
Okay. You can sing. Really loud. Okay, that was so fun. Hello, y'all. How are you? Welcome to the very, very, very serious MEA live event. Very serious around here. Get ready for PowerPoints and note-taking. No, not at all. Get ready for having some fun. It's really good to see everybody here today. Do me a favor. Go into the chat box. We love the chat. We're very chatty around here. And tell me where you are from in the world, and if this is your first time to attend an MEA anything. And if so, you might be wondering, who is this crazy woman? So type in the chat, where are you from? And if this is the first time that you have ever attended an MEA event, wonderful, great. Look at our folk. We've got our Canadians here. Berlin is here. Toronto is here. Seattle, Oregon, Palo Alto, Durham, North Carolina, Atlanta, Denver, Kauai, but in Spain. Love that. Isn't that amazing? We often will have 20 countries on a call all at once. So my name is Carrie Cardinelli. I am the partner and chief content officer at MEA. I've been here very much from the beginning when Chip Conley sort of launched this concept of creating a modern wisdom school for midlifers. And so excited to have these live events where we have a chance to come together, learn a little bit about MEA. How many of you are alumni? If you're an alumni, hit a reaction button like I'm going to do right now. Hit a reaction button. If you are an alumni, big hearts. Yeah, love it. Lots and lots of alumni hopping in here for today. Amazing. It's great to have a combo platter of new folks and alumni. So, got to tell you something. Anne Randolph, our special guest, is not here yet. Wah, wah. I'm not sure what happened. I've got an email out to her. I do not know what occurred, but I do have Amy Tullius here today. I'm going to bring her up. Susan's going to text her. Okay, excellent. Text her. I sent her an email. She may be something may have occurred with her Wi-Fi. I do not know, but go ahead and bring Amy up on Spotlight for me, and we will chat. There we go. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
So let me introduce Amy. Amy's one of our experienced guides at our Santa Fe Rising Circle Ranch campus. She is a rising star in the MEA circles. She is also a writer, and she will be attending and helping to lead Anne's workshop in the end of January. It's kind of a new year, new you kind of opportunity. So while we're checking in on Anne, I'd love to just introduce you to everybody. And maybe you can reflect a little bit about writing is something that we do in a unique way at MEA. So by a show of hands, how many of you are journalers? Anybody out there kind of a regular journaler? Keep journals, it's like one of your things. How many of you are like, no, like I hated writing in high school? Susan's like, ah, I hate it. So we found like a middle ground when we teach online and in our classes. We love to do micro journaling. And oh, Amy just journaled before this session. So here's something that we've learned with brain science, that we bring a lot of brain science into how we teach, both online and at the workshops. That a lot of things that we had to do in high school was like one way of learning. but not the best way of learning. And so we are in a new world now. We get to learn as adults learn. It's much more social learning, reflective learning, conversational learning, community-based learning. That's how things stick, is when we can find context for things, right? So have you found, like, you may have listened to a really good podcast and you were into it, like you were driving and you were loving everything you were hearing, and then you get home and you try to describe what it was about, and then you don't remember really anything, maybe one thing that's stuck in your head. So that's what happens when we have a lot of overwhelm in our lives. And so we do micro journaling where we have everybody get a notebook and just write for like 2 minutes, reflecting on something that we're talking about and how it might apply in your life. So how many of you took notes in school growing up? Took notes by hand, right? With this thing, a pen, and then this thing, paper. That's how we grew up learning. Yeah, Melissa's showing me hers. So there's something around writing down reflections when we're learning new things that helps anchor it. It helps give context to our experience. So those of you that are consistent journalers are probably finding that's what you're doing. You're contextualizing your life, by just, and some people talk out loud. I'm a talk out loud person these days. So I go and do my journaling by speaking to the trees when I'm hiking. So journaling and writing has lots of different contexts to it and how we use it in different ways. So with that, I'm just going to see if you'd like to share some reflections, Amy, about that and your sense, what we will be doing with Anne, what we do largely on the campus in helping us to reflect more deeply on our lives. Any thoughts about that, Amy?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I feel like when I was a kid, I journaled a lot just to write myself through moods and to sort of have the kind of listening almost that I wasn't getting from people around me. And it's strange that writing creates a kind of listening because it's something you're doing with yourself. Um, and then I think, if you keep doing it, it becomes a skill, which is interesting. So I've thought about recently how some writing I do to kind of like work with emotions. Some is to kind of process mentally, which is less rare. Like, I mean, less common. I usually only write mentally if people are paying me for it, like articles and things like that, because it's just more rigorous. And then I've thought a lot about, Liz Gilbert's style of writing from love, where it's almost like you're speaking with your spirit. So I feel like there are just lots of ways to access yourself.
Yeah, let's share that with some of you may know. What is it? Anybody heard of Liz Gilbert, that movie Eat, Pray, Love? Remember that? Julia Roberts. She went to Italy and she went to India and she went to Bali. So Liz Gilbert has a journaling process that she does where she thinks of, instead of saying, Dear God, she felt like she wanted to ask the presence of love. And that would be an interesting thing. If you imagine love to be an omnipresent force, and ask a question, Dear love, what would you have me, what would you have me know or do today? And then that was the prompt. And then she would just have an imagination of if love was answering her, and then she would just write that. And often she found that love was kind of like that classic, remember your old aunties who would call you all the sweet names like, oh, cutesy pie, oh, sweetheart, like the pinch the cheek. And it became a 20-year process for her that she found was really helpful. It was a way to have a dialogue with a part of herself, which I find super fascinating. So today we are here to do a couple different things. I'm going to give Amy some space and thank you. Amy is here. So until Anne arrives, we have an opportunity to just talk broadly about her workshop, about workshops at MEA, about our digital campus, about kind of an Ask Me Anything opportunity, which is rare. We never get that. So that's fun. So if you have questions for me about MEA or anything, put them in the chat. Let's start loading those up and I can address and chat about some of those. We're very excited for Anne's workshop that she's going to be anchoring a brand new approach that we're bringing to our Rising Circle Ranch. So how many of you been to our Baja campus? Anybody here wave at me? You've been to our Baja campus? Awesome. That used to be 7 days. It's a 5-day program. That will continue the same. How many of you been to our Santa Fe Ranch campus, Rising Circle Ranch? Nice. So those of you who've been to the ranch have experienced a 5-day program there as well. We're deciding, a lot of you said to us, I'd just love to come down for the weekend. And I would love to come more often, but I can't afford to come very often because it's a pretty high ticket. So we've created on the Santa Fe Ranch, starting in January, a totally new programming. So we'll be offering 4-day programs and 3-day programs. So the ranch is going to be open 7 days a week. And some folks who want to come for 7 days can put 2 programs together. Super exciting. And I think that's going to give you lots and lots of choices. There's currently 65 workshops published on the website right now to experience and check out. And so Anne will be coming to do a weekend writers workshop around unmuting yourself, which I love that, of not only just writing for the fun of it, but exploring this reflective environment to uncover, for the new year, what's in there. So so here's the workshop details that you can check it out. And the winter time is a really beautiful time to be in Santa Fe. What most people don't know is that there's 320 days of sun a year in Santa Fe. It hardly ever snows. It's crisp. The sky is as big as you can possibly imagine. And if you bring a hat and the gloves and a scarf, you can be outside year round. And there are miles and miles of hiking trails. And there's something about the ranch that inspires spacious thoughts and great conversations. You will be fed. You will have to wear stretchy waist pants because you're going to be fed so well. Your waistline will get a little tight by the end of the week because you're going to be eating such wonderful foods. So we're excited for this new direction to offer a lot more opportunities to come and join us on the ranch. I have not worked directly with Anne, but what I love about her is that she's bringing this super unique background as a playwright, and she's a performer, and she's a storytelling coach. So she's coming at it from a very interactive space. So those of you who don't really journal all the time, or writing's not your thing, this is for everybody, for anybody who wants to take a chance to just reflect on your upcoming year and who you are this year, to give yourself permission to kind of access the buried stories that you may have been bringing along with you that really need to be shared now, to kind of stand in your voice. And they are not all posted on the website. I don't know where Anne lives. That's a really good question. Hey, can somebody on the team research that? I don't know. That's a great question. Yes, I do love that on her website, Alanis Morissette, who I love, says she laughed, cried, spit up my drink, and had my ego obliterated. Oh, she lives in Santa Fe. That's right. So it's going to be a raucous, fun, great time all around. So with that, I would love to see if anybody has any questions for me, questions about MEA, questions about program. Please, you can pop it in the chat. You can raise your hand. Great to see my good friend Kiana on the call, a dear sister who I've had a chance to meet through MEA. Hi, love. Good to see you. Anybody, ask me anything, any questions that you might have for today. And I apologize, I don't know what happened with Anne. We are working to get a hold of her. Obviously something occurred, so we may just reschedule and bring Anne back on another date, and we'll send that back around so you have a chance to be with her in person. Okay, so let me ask her a couple questions, and if she doesn't come, we'll probably close the call at the bottom of the hour. Okay, so how would one start the journey of teaching a course at MEA? Tricky, we're pretty booked, actually. So you would email me directly, and then we can have a chat. So Sandy, feel free. Connor, if you put my email address in there, it's carrie@meawisdom.com. What's the cost of the 3-day workshop? That varies based on the workshops themselves. And you guys are asking me all the trick questions that I don't pay attention to because I didn't look at Anne's. But each workshop varies, whether it's a core workshop that our team teaches, or it's a guest faculty workshop, we do have financial aid for some of our workshops. Chip was insightful enough that he recognized that having a huge group of people from all walks of life is really important. And so creating a nonprofit allowed us to have financial aid distributed. And to this point, over $2 million actually has been distributed in financial aid to bring folks to the ranch and to the Baja campus. We're so proud of that. So yeah, good. You guys are popping those in there. Oh, thank you, Dave. I'm getting like a shout out. You're so sweet. So that was where I was going to go next, is that we have a digital campus as well. So in addition to our Baja campus, in addition to our Rising Circle Ranch, how many of you have been on online courses with me? Raise your hand. Yes, my digital intimacy peeps. So even before COVID, we got y'all on Zoom and put together these immersion courses where we have conversations and we talk about stuff and we laugh and we play music and we connect. So that allowed us to expand our alumni to 7,000 people from 50 countries. And many do not have the time or the resources to come to one of our campuses, but can join in our virtual programs. We just closed a really interesting program exploring empty nesting. So anybody who have kids between like 18 and 30 are in an interesting world of like, the kids are actually not launching as fast as we did. And what do we do with that whole thing? So that was really fun. Ben Cott is one of our new teachers. He's going to be starting an immersion course called The Way of Wisdom. That's coming up next week. So the digital campus is alive and well, and it is a really wonderful place to drop in. Let's see, what other questions? Yes, Suleika Jawad, I love her. Literally, I'm a huge fangirl. She is married to John Batiste, cancer survivor, and talked about how journaling got her through her cancer journey. Even before that happened, she was a journaler, and she just put a beautiful book together that I actually have right here. Not to, plug, we're trying to get her to come teach. Suleika Jawad, The Book of Alchemy, and it's a whole book of all these folks that she inspired to also journal. Love her. She's protecting her time, so she may not be teaching soon, but we're trying to get her to come on in and join us. All right, what other questions do I have for you? I'm interested in journaling, but wondering what your thoughts are on using technology as a step of handwriting. Yeah, is anybody's handwriting just absolute trash now because we don't write that much? Mine is trash, it's so bad. So I do type a lot now for sure, but there is still something around the reflection that can happen, even if you never read what you wrote. So using it as an exercise for inner tracking, for mining, is extremely useful. So it's not necessarily about the end product, but the process. A meditation is a process of tracking and exploring. So yes, so I'm with you. Mine is so bad. Connor is 30 something, and his is bad as well. Can Santa Fe alumni visit the ranch to walk the land? That's something we've been thinking about more, is how can we open up the ranch for different types of opportunities. Right now we're running it 7 days a week, so we don't have that capacity. However, does anybody remember the show The Golden Girls? How much we love that. And it's crazy. It's like they were not that old when they were in that show, but they were made to look a bit older than they actually were. So Chip is actually working on purchasing some homes around the ranch in Santa Fe, and also opening up some land to build on the ranch to create Golden Girl style homes where women or men can co-own a home together. And so that's exciting. Yes, I'm going to bring Amy back up to talk a little bit more about Anne's week and writing as a means of expression. Let's do that. Go ahead, Amy.
Okay, hi. So I have thoughts definitely on the handwriting versus digital, if that.
Please.
Okay. I mean, I know a lot of writers have different thoughts. When I was in grad school getting an MFA in writing, I started doing mostly mostly digital, mostly on my computer because it's so efficient. And I was an art writer later. And I had a breakthrough one day when I was away from my desk and I just had to scribble something down on a piece of paper really quick. And I found that writing on paper with my hand really connected me to the sensual details of what I was working on, and it like made my writing completely pop. I think there's a way that that handwriting is connected to your body in a whole different way. So now when I'm writing, I tend to do all three. So I'll usually do my first drafts by hand because it gets all of that sensuality into the piece. And then I actually will dictate it into a Google Doc so that I don't have to type it all. And then I edit with typing because it's more of a cognitive space. But it's interesting to just see how your brain works in all of these different places.
Mm-hmm. So let's chat about what's going to happen when you come to the ranch in January. You're going to be greeted by Amy and Anne. So, Amy, maybe you can just walk through a little bit about what everyone could look forward to experiencing from
Oh,
what you know.
oh my gosh. Okay, lovely. Well, in January, oh, it's going to be, the vistas are going to be gorgeous. And winter is so beautiful. I'm sure we'll have fires going. So when you get to the ranch, there's usually a person and sometimes a dog will come and greet you and show you to your room. Um, and then we have a cocktail party and kind of start to get to know each other. And we have a dinner the first night, and our chef, oh my God, is so good. We have a chef. She's an artist. I mean, she had all of these culinary art projects in Marfa, Texas that she did, and talk about sensuality as expression. Like her food is so good. So anyway, it's all local, all regionally sourced when possible. So we have dinner and then kind of an orientation. And then the next day we start getting into some mindfulness and then content. So we'll do practices with Anne. And anything you would add to this so far, Carrie?
Yeah, I think that's a great flow that coming to the ranch and the exercises that Anne's going to do will be expressive as well as writing. So you will be getting out on the land. She will be using lots of tools and tricks for active participatory experiences to again track where you are and using those skills for self-discovery. Based on the weather, as Amy's saying, we'll be getting you outside to hike. There's Kiva style fires, there's s'mores, there's a campfire outside. You'll be given some free time to relax. There are horses and baby cows that you'll get to go visit. So we create this sort of flow of the weekend that you'll have some focused time specifically with Anne for this interactive exploratory style of unmuting yourself and uncovering what is that story that is meant to be told, writing being one vehicle that she uses in her repertoire. And then, as Amy's outlining, some time for conversation, time for discussion, time for bonding, and a really beautiful weekend. So you arrive on a Thursday night, and you have the whole day Friday, the whole day Saturday, and you'll check out on Sunday. And some are finding they're wanting to stay in Santa Fe. They want to go into town, which is great. The dates of this workshop is January 29 to, let me get back up here, to January 20 to February 1, which is nice. It's a really nice time to get past the holidays and then do something nice, important for yourself. Yeah, how do we break through what keeps us silent and muted? Yes, Anna, that is exactly what you'll be exploring. I feel like what we're finding is this type of workshop is really appealing. So world is very noisy right now, and we need some time to be quiet. We need some time to reflect. I see Jim Flaherty's here, an avid writer and an avid MEA alum. In fact, Jim, I'm just going to bring you up. One of our favorites. Jim learned to surf at MEA at what? God, 87?
I was a kid then. I was only 87. Now
Yeah.
I'm 90. Big deal. I want to add something to Carrie's and Amy's comments. If you've not been to MEA, besides having some brilliant instructors and the settings, whether you're in Santa Fe, at the ranch, or in Baja, there's nothing can quite compare to them in terms of comfort and the aesthetics and the feeling of being there is just marvelous. One of the great, huge values, and all of us know it, are the other people. It's not just the teachers. You're going to meet some marvelous people, and we form cohort groups, and we still meet. I get so busy some months I have 5 or 6 cohort groups because we're all still in touch with one another. You meet some great people who are of a mindset to improve what's going on up here and to share what they have with other people. So don't hesitate if you're not already an alumni. If you are an alumni, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you've never been there, give yourself the gift of MEA because it is absolutely a gift. And if you don't get the wisdom well, then write, I know you need another email like you need another hole in your head, Carrie, but write Carrie at MEA.com, MEAwisdom.com, and put your name on the daily blog. It's free and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I read it religiously every day.
Oh, it's so good, Jim. That's Chip's blog. It's kind of Chip Conley's stream of consciousness brilliance that he can crank out a blog every single day. Thank you, Jim. You are a treasure. He's our true modern elder. All right, so everybody, with that, I'm going to let you know that we will get in touch with Anne and we will reschedule so we can actually bring her here and do a follow-up. So we'll let you know when we can get that going. And in the meantime, thank you for coming. Thank you for taking some time to learn about MEA. We have people actually answer the phone. If you guys could put the book a call link in there. I do want to give a shout out to our admissions team, our advisors. Like, how nice is it to actually have a person that you can talk to, and they will talk to you for as long as you want to talk about what's going on in your life, which workshop should I do, this is what I'm thinking about. They know about all of the workshops, which is insane, and can really help you lean into a journey that makes sense for you. So don't hesitate to book a call, even if it's very broad, just like, I don't understand what this company is, help me. Or a very specific question, like, what should I pack if I come in February? All great. So with that, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Amy, for joining me. Such a gift to have you on board. Thank you, Jim. And we'll have the recording of this lovely chat, and we'll let you know as soon as we get Anne back on the schedule. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. And thank you again for joining us.